We're living in the golden age of fandom. While fandoms have always existed, from the Beatlemania of the 1960s to the Brossettes of the 1980s, ask your mum or possibly even your grandma, right up to the modern day when, of course, we have the Beehive and the Swifties, one of those devotees of the greatest pop icon of our age, the other fans of some former country singer who once had a fling with Matty Healy from the 1975. But I'm here to talk to you about Fandom and Peaky Blinders, and should Component 2 of your Educast Media Studies A-Level ever ask you to evaluate Henry Jenkins' theory in relation to the Birmingham set Machismo Fest, you'll know exactly what kind of thing to say. First, some basics. Audiences were originally conceived of as passive. Think cultivation, think media effects, when the overriding question was, what does the media text do to the audience? Then, following Stuart Hall, reception theory, uses and gratifications, the emphasis shift to see the audience as active. We ask, what do the audience do with the media text? These days, of course, we've gone beyond the active audience and we've entered the interactive phase. And this interactivity has a vital social component, perhaps in the way fans gather at conventions, or more frequently in the way they can congregate online and swarm all over anybody who dares question their icon in any particular way. So how and why does this theory apply to Peaky Blinders? Well, it's a show that lends itself to fandom in the way that many cult TV shows do. It has a distinct visual style and identity in terms of its setting, its fashions, and in terms of how it's shot and edited, not to mention its use of music. And at its heart, it has a central character who is complex and morally ambiguous, as equally capable of supreme violence as he is surprising vulnerability. That this character is played by Cillian Murphy, an actor who has established his own cult following, only adds to its appeal among its dedicated fan base. So if that's why it generates fan interest, what are the expressions of fandom? And to write well for this question, you would need to come armed with plenty of evidence and examples of forms that fandom takes. The internet is absolutely crawling with Peaky Blinders fan art, homes that serve as shrines to Tommy Shelby, and that's before we get to the many arms, legs and backs inked with portraits of the man himself. There are videos that proliferate on TikTok and YouTube, many of which take us into a key area of Jenkins' theory. The fact that what he labels textual poaching often involves reappropriating characters in ways that aren't necessarily licensed by the text. In certain sections of the internet, Shelby has been claimed as an ultimate Sigma, filed next to the likes of Andrew Tate as a role model for the kind of man who is really, really angry about the fact he can't get a girlfriend. Still online, there are forums, social media, not to mention tons of heavily homoerotic fanfiction and some non-homoerotic but very, very violent fanfiction as well. You can, of course, get your hair did like Tommy, dress like him, perhaps while you and your mates drink in a Peaky Blinders themed bar. Take your fandom up a notch by visiting Birmingham and going on a pilgrimage of the sites featured in the show. Or, if you have a time machine, set it for 2019. Visit the first ever Peaky Blinders Festival in, where else? Birmingham. In short, just as Jenkins states in his theory, one's social and cultural identity can be fully based on this programme. I hope that was helpful. Now I'm off to find out what a Sigma is and whether I am one. See you soon. Bye.